waiting around. I'm Brianna.
I'm Amin.
I'm Brian.
I'm Danielle.
And we're the agency team for the Practical Advantage Communications. So you guys know about it, obviously. It's the Cal State Fullerton on-campus, student-run agency that deals with entertainment tourism majors, PR majors, and advertising majors. So we deal with clients that are small local businesses and nonprofits, help them create a campaign that we think is attainable over the course of a semester and put forth that campaign in order to help their communicative strategies throughout the semester. It started in 2011. The instructors, obviously, Dr. Swanson and Professor Evanow. It's held here at the Irvine campus. So like I said, with the work that the students do, they get that hands-on experience to deal with clients, which will help them in their future. So that's a little bit about the background of PRAD. So I'm going to talk about what we did for the client this semester. When we initially met with Professor Evanow, he told us what he wanted our goals and objectives to be over the course of the semester. So then after that, we were able to come up with our SWOT analysis. So one of the strengths, obviously, student run. So us, the students, get to deal with the clients, see what it's like. The previous agencies had already created Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for us to build off of. So we were able to build up our presence with those already created. One of the weaknesses was that Practical Advantage isn't super well known, so we were trying to make it more well known outside of Cal State Fullerton. One of the opportunities was that being part of Practical Advantage, students have networking and job opportunities, and the ability to reach out to other students here at Cal State Fullerton and outside of Cal State Fullerton so that people can get to know about it. And finally, the threats. Not a lot of people knowing about Practical Advantage could lead to an attendance slippage, which would decline in our funding and Practical Advantage maybe not being around, and also potential dissension or evil professors who didn't really like Practical Advantage were trying to give us the boot, but that didn't happen, obviously. So after our SWOT analysis, we realized we had a couple problems. One of them being that there was minimal involvement across the social media platforms, and not a lot of awareness, like I said, about us. So we realized that we had a lot of opportunity by connecting all of our social media accounts with Hootsuite. We were able to overcome one of the problems and reaching out to current Practical Advantage students and other communication students along with professors, and actually actively posting on those social media platforms. So next, Amin's going to talk about our goals.
So our first goal was to boost Practical Advantage's social media presence by engaging with current communication students at Cal State Fullerton, as well as alumni and past clients to build our followers. So some objectives we had for that was to create relevant and interesting content that helps us engage with followers. We wanted to post things that are going on in our agency, as well as things that are just broad as just advertising and PR. Just anyone that's interested in that could see that. And there was just Cal State Fullerton related things that any student can relate to. Another objective was to use Hootsuite to schedule postings across social media platforms. That would help us plan ahead of time to post relevant content for each day in the week. Another objective was to gain followers by engaging with and following other Cal State Fullerton organizations. So at the end of really evaluating this, we wanted to reach approximately 119 followers on Instagram, 587 followers on Twitter, and 374 followers on Facebook. And that sounds like kind of just random numbers, but we did some research behind it, and 4 of the student-run agencies in the country that we researched were University of Texas, University of Kansas, Syracuse University, and Boston University. And we chose these because we talked to Professor Evanow before, and he told us about some of these. And we also researched student-run agency accounts that were started around the same time as us and were also popular. So it would be a realistic goal. Our second goal was to improve and update the Practical Advantage Communications website. So some objectives for that were to rearrange the website and make our logo more noticeable on the site, which also says that we're a student-run agency, because before it wasn't really apparent that we were a student-run agency. It was just kind of there, but it wasn't like the main focus, which we tried to make the main focus. We also wanted to recreate the client page and update the current list of our clients. So just put everything that's happening right now in our semester. And we also wanted to create a new page under the Students tab with the Fall 2015 teams. So it had pictures of all of us, the names of our teams. Another objective for that was to update new alumni features by interviewing some of the more recent alumni. And our third goal was to create a Hootsuite manual. So some of you might not know what Hootsuite is, but it's a social media management system for brand management, and it essentially allows you to conveniently just post on all of your social media from one thing. So some of the objectives for that were to illustrate how to publish posts on Hootsuite that will simultaneously publish on all of our social media accounts, and then show how to schedule posts and how to navigate and use Hootsuite for future semesters, because this is our first semester using Hootsuite. And so now I'm going to pass it over to Danielle. She'll talk about our strategy, tactics, and tools.
All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the things we use to implement our goals and make them successful. So the first goal being social media. We wanted to really boost our followers and make our names more, make Practical Advantage more, build a higher reputation for it, and give us more awareness. That was really what we were trying to do by increasing our social media followers and our activity on there. So we decided as a team in the beginning of the semester, we're each going to take over one social media account. I was in charge of Facebook, Amin was in charge of Twitter, Bree was in charge of Instagram, and then Brian was in charge of Hootsuite. So we wanted to individually have an account to ourselves so we can become really professional at it and really good at managing that account and making sure it's up to date with everything, and make sure we're consistent with our postings and what we're posting. We tended to post a lot of the same information. On Twitter, obviously we're using smaller blurbs, and we're using a lot of hashtags on all of the accounts. And then Brian came in with Hootsuite, which was great because Hootsuite, which is our third goal, Hootsuite was really a great platform for us to start using, especially because it's our first semester with it, by linking all of our accounts to it. So it's a great thing because as well as us individually posting on our social media accounts, he's able to go in and set a date and a time for a posting he wants to happen, and that can be like 2 hours from now, or it can be next week. And all of the same information and content would go on all of the websites. So that was really great. If you're going to be out of office on 4th of July and you want to post on 4th of July, you're going to be able to set that the week before, and it's going to show up. And that creates consistency all across our social media sites. So when people are visiting us and we're getting traffic to all of our accounts, they're going to be able to see individual postings as well as content that is relevant and the same across all of our platforms, which is really great. Also, to boost our social media followings, we did a lot of outreach. So we did outreach to the current students here. We sent an email about ourselves, letting us know who we are. We're going to be the agency team, and just links to all of our accounts, so you guys can stay in touch and up to date with other teams at their successes and things like that. We also did outreach to other CSUF student-run clubs. So we reached out to Titan PR, the Ag Club here, SSA, the Latin Club. On Facebook, we sent them messages. We introduced ourselves. We said, this is what we're about. We're interested in connecting with you, and we want to support you. We'd like your support back, and things like that. And that was really successful for us. And then we did the same thing on Instagram. It was a little bit harder just because there weren't as many Instagram pages for these clubs on campus and off campus. Other student-run agencies, but there was a lot more Facebook pages. So that was another thing that really helped us boost our social media presence and things like that. We also sent an email to communications professors. So we worked with Dr. Swanson on obtaining a list of communications professors, and we worked really closely with our team and him to decide, who are the people we want to really outreach to, the communications professors, part-time professors who aren't aware of, who we are and what we are. And I think it was a great thing that we did that because they were able to know about us, know we are on campus, and potentially and hopefully, share that with their students so they can be aware of us, and they might be interested in if they knew about us. So we sent out a link with that information, as well as our website, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, all of those accounts, so they can kind of click around and figure out who we are, and hopefully something that their current or prospective students would like to be interested in. And then for our second goal was our website. So when we initially talked to Professor Evano, he had said, we really want to just make like the PR80 logo much larger and make it the fact that it's a student-run agency really evident on our website, which it wasn't there before. So they liked the layout of our website. They didn't want us changing around and creating everything different, but they did want it to be more evident, like student-run agency, and just kind of update it with current things going on. So that's what we did. We used Weebly for that. That was the foundation of our website, and it wasn't really easy to figure out because none of us were experts at it, but we figured it out. We did some research. We learned how to use it, and utilize that to our ability. And then we photoshopped the logo, made it a little bit bigger, played around with it, and now that's the center of our website. We'll have some pictures for you after. We also added a new header, which is our agency photo from this semester, and it looks great. As well as we did outreach to alumni. So we got a list from Professor Evano of alumni who have been in this agency before and kind of where they're at in their career and just things like that. So we obtained that list from him. We sent out an email to them. We got some responses, which was great. And we've also updated that onto our website. And it's really, the questions we asked were really particular to this agency. How did this agency help you? How is it relevant to what you're doing now? Things like that. So when people, when visitors come to our page, they're able to see like, wow, this really kind of like got your foot in the door for, it's a capstone class. You want to have that experience before going out, So it's great that we were able to do this in this agency with faculty helping us along the way. We also updated we had a new student tab with the fall 2015 team, so all of your pictures are there with your team name and things like that. So that will always be there. So if you ever want to use that for reference, that will always be there. We updated our clientele. So we updated our current clients. We did a little tab on the homepage so you can kind of quickly scroll through. And then we have a client tab, which is a lot of our past clients as well as all of our current clients. And then we updated Eleanor and Elise's page and the faculty page and just kind of updated it and made it, more up to date. And then for our third goal, which was the Hootsuite manual, and how we use that to our advantage, like I previously said, it's great. It's a great tool that we have. I'm so happy we have it now. Brian and all of us work together to create a manual. It's about 9 to 10 pages of information on how to use it for future agency teams to reference and hopefully take it even farther and figure out the things that we weren't able to figure out. So those were the strategy, tactics, and tools we used to carry out our goals here. And then this was kind of a calendar we came up with in the beginning of this semester, just of the goals we wanted to accomplish, the dates we wanted to accomplish those by, and we were really pleased that we were able to carry out a lot of these things ahead of time, so it gave us, boost of confidence there, which is great. However, we did have to go through some reevaluation. In our initial pitch presentation, we had, given a certain amount of numbers we wanted on social media and how we were going to do that and things like that. However, after we conducted all of our research, we had to reevaluate what's the word I'm looking for?
The followers, the number of followers?
No, we had to reevaluate the proposed numbers that we had given. So we realized that wasn't really achievable. After we sent out the email to you guys, we had the link with everything. That wasn't as successful as we had initially planned on, and we realized it was because some of you don't have all those accounts, and some of you may have forgotten, and not everyone has all those accounts. So we had to take our number down a little bit by that, and then also by researching other student-run agencies like we had done. We realized the number that we had wanted to achieve wasn't going to be successful. We weren't going to be able to successfully carry that out in the period of time that we had. So we made it a little bit more realistic for us. We beat some of our numbers. We averaged based on the other agencies that we did research. So we did that, and then we also had to reevaluate the idea of sending out a press release. The reason we wanted to do this was our initial pitch presentation. We wanted to send out a press release highlighting some of the stories and successes our clients have had. We were in contact with all the account executives throughout the semester, and you all know some of our clients weren't really successful, you know. Long Table didn't have much success until the very end, and You First, and I mean, yeah, Miracles for Kids, you know, they just came back and they're like, we don't have much to tell you. So we opted not to do that. We did know that Family Alliance sent out a press release, so that's great. Yeah, so that's why we opted not to send out our press release. And now I'm gonna take this over to Brian.
So as campaign outcomes, this is our website. We were able to successfully update the website with our pictures and our logo and the email larger and some of our teams. We did make the student run agency more apparent, and we successfully featured 2 alumni onto our website, Carly Hummel and Tiffany Flock. And we did put some of our current clients in here: Providence, Nomadic, Young Alliance, Local for Kids, and Practical Advantage. So we did create a Hootsuite banner using Photoshop, and we screenshot some of the websites for Hootsuite, and we used Photoshop to circle it and annotate the instructions onto one document. And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you, guys.
Also, yeah,
We have 2 examples.
we did some of our feature stories on our social media platforms. Those we did a You First one for their, when you guys finally came up with your mission statement, that was like the first thing that we did. We're like, yes, finally. We did 2 feature stories on Mam Alliance. One was their parade that they had in the beginning of the semester in Fullerton. And then this was photos from that we worked with Michael to get from their social media seminar. So we did feature stories, we did outreach to, you know, we were in communication with all of our account executives trying to, you know, figure out things, just, you know, they're just letting us know what happened.
Yeah.
Things like that. So we did highlight on some feature stories. Also, we uploaded a lot of the photos to our Facebook account. So, you know, there's tabs under there, all you guys working. You First is on there, Miracles for Kids. There's a lot of photos up there. So, yeah.
So our campaign outcomes, we did gain 20 followers for Instagram, 50 followers for Facebook, and 31 followers for Twitter.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So how do we measure our goals? For our social media goals, we measure them by numbers. Our goal for Instagram was 119. We finished at 98. 587 for Twitter, and we finished at 442. Facebook was 374, and we finished at 400. We did reach our Facebook goal, but we did fall short on Instagram and Twitter. But although we did do very well on our Practical Advantage website, we got positive feedback from our clients, and Professor Evano. Even though it didn't look as crazy as Mojo ad, I think it's simpler and cleaner.